This is definitely a very strange environment right now. Of course, you have the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the San Diego Padres. This is a neutral site after a 60-game regular season. To pitch for Game 1 for the Los Angeles Dodgers, it'll be Walker Buehler coming off an injury. The Los Angeles Dodgers take Game 1 of the National League Division Series. After the Dodgers' 5-1 victory in Game 1 of the National League Division Series, the Dodgers are sending out their ace Clayton Kershaw on the hill to make his very first start ever in Arlington. If you like drama, Game 2 of the NLDS between the Padres and the Dodgers was exactly what you were looking for on Wednesday night. The Dodgers with a 6-3 lead going into the 9th inning. Kenley Jansen couldn't hold that lead. He gave up 2 runs with still an out to go. Joe Kelly comes into the game and he loads the bases. Up comes Eric Hosmer, the 3-hole hitter, and he grounds out to second base, ending the threat, and the Dodgers take a 2-0 series lead. Cody Bellinger, maybe the play of the game, robs Fernando Tatis Jr. of a 2-run shot in the top of the 7th inning. That might have been the deciding factor of this game. After an epic and wild Game 2 of the National League Division Series, the Dodgers sneaking away with a 6-5 victory against the San Diego Padres, and they are just 1 win away from advancing to the National League Championship Series. The Dodgers go on to rout the Padres 12-3. Now LA turns their attention to Atlanta in the National League Championship Series. Atlanta swept away the Miami Marlins earlier today in 3 games, and so the Dodgers and Braves go head-to-head on Monday. A sea of fans waiting for baseball since March 26th finally got their wish. Game 1 of the NLCS between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves, and they will see their fans in this ballpark first before the Texas Rangers actually do. Game 1 for the Dodgers will be Walker Buehler on the hill, and as for the Atlanta Braves, it will be a former Dodger fan towing the rubber, went to Harvard Westlake High School in California, and that is Max Fried, the lefty. The National League Championship Series starts with a bang as the Atlanta Braves take down the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-1, and it all came in the 9th inning, a 4-run 9th for the Braves. All started off by an Austin Riley solo home run. Not good news out of LA. Clayton Kershaw, the hometown kid from Highland Park, he will not make his start. He actually was scratched due to back spasms. After opening to a 2-0 series lead in the National League Championship Series, the Atlanta Braves struggled mightily in Game 3. Their starting pitcher, Kyle Wright, was only able to go 2/3 of an inning because the Los Angeles Dodgers came out with a fire, a fury, a vengeance, whatever you want to call it. They scored 11 runs in the first inning. That is a major league record for most runs scored in a single frame. The Braves return the favor in a massive way. They go on to win Game 4 of the National League Championship Series 10-2, and on top of that, they are just 1 game away from advancing to the World Series. They lead the series 3-1. Here are the Dodgers coming back with back-to-back wins, and now the series is even at 3 after the Dodgers win it 3-1 in Game 6. Well, Game 7 of the National League Championship Series will have all hands on deck for both the Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. The Dodgers able to survive against the Braves in Game 6, pulling it out 3-1. Their bullpen shutting it down. Game 7 was an absolute classic. The Dodgers win it over the Atlanta Braves 4-3. They win the series 4-3, and now they are headed to the World Series. With Arlington playing host to the first neutral site World Series in the modern era of Major League Baseball, many fans from Tampa Bay and Los Angeles found themselves hopping on flights and making their way to Globe Life Field. The Tampa Bay Rays have only been around since 1998. Let's just keep that in mind. They also rebranded from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays to the Rays in 2007 to 2008. So, to say the least, you have that history for the Rays, and for the Dodgers, they've been around since 1884 technically. They were officially the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1911, and then they became the Los Angeles Dodgers in 1958. So, with all that in mind, you can imagine that this is going to be a very pro Los Angeles Dodgers crowd. It's Clayton Kershaw you got to keep the eyes on here. Of course, he's the local boy. He grew up in Highland Park, went to Highland Park High School. He met his wife in high school here. His family lives here. This is his off-season home. Game 1 of the World Series between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Los Angeles Dodgers was very one-sided and somewhat from the very beginning as well. After what looked like would be a pitcher's duel through the first 3 innings of scoreless baseball, the Dodgers were able to tack on runs in the 4th inning off of Tyler Glasnow. They would force Glasnow to throw 112 pitches. The Dodgers would go on to win it 8-3. So we transition now to Game 2. It's Blake Snell, the ace on the hill for the Tampa Bay Rays. He has a Cy Young under his belt, but he does not have a World Series championship. And LA made it close. Corey Seager with a solo shot in the 8th inning made it 6-4, but the Rays were able to hold on with that dominant bullpen. Game 3 of the World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Tampa Bay Rays, well, it had a very similar feel to that of Game 1. The Dodgers completely rolling from the very beginning. The Rays fell 6-2 to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Walker Buehler pitched amazing, 6 innings pitched of 10K baseball, allowing just 1 run in the game. And so the Dodgers with a 2-1 series lead. Wow, we have a series on our hands heading into Game 5 of the World Series. The Tampa Bay Rays coming off an absolute classic win, winning 8-7 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Brett Phillips at the plate against Kenley Jansen, down to his final strike. And Brett Phillips knocked in a run in Kevin Kiermaier. Randy Arozarena coming around third base, tripped over himself, but there was enough time for him to score because Chris Taylor, he could not field the ball cleanly in center field. The throw to Max Muncy and then the relay home to Will Smith did not get to Smith. In fact, it kicked away from Smith, and after Arozarena gathered himself, he got back up, crossed over home plate, and the Rays win over the Dodgers, a one that probably shouldn't have won, and now the series is evened at 2 apiece. Following a crushing loss in Game 4 of the World Series against the Tampa Bay Rays, the Los Angeles Dodgers come right back in Game 5, and they win it 4-2 on Sunday at the hands of their king, Clayton Kershaw. For Dodgers fans, well, they've been praying for this day for 32 years. They haven't won a World Series championship since 1988, and back in the day, that was Kirk Gibson hitting a walk-off home run in Game 1 against Dennis Eckersley, the Hall of Fame closer of the Oakland Athletics. It was also Tommy Lasorda, the manager of that squad. Fast forward now to Dave Roberts' squad, and they are just a win away from that championship. They will send Tony Gonsolin to the hill for Game 6. The energy is a little bit different this time around. I think a lot of Dodgers fans realize that, after this long wait since 1988 of not having a World Series championship heading to LA, tonight could be their night. They, of course, lost in 2017 against the Houston Astros in Game 7. They lost in 2018 in Game 5 against the Red Sox, but tonight they try and finish it out in the World Series in Game 6. The long wait is over for Los Angeles Dodgers fans. Joining their beloved LA Lakers, the Dodgers are World Series champions in 2020. They've waited 32 years for this, since 1988. Those are the names of Kirk Gibson and Tommy Lasorda. That's all in the back burner. They could celebrate that win, but of course now, living in the present, Dave Roberts is a World Series champion manager, and Clayton Kershaw has his first ring in his Hall of Fame career. The Dodgers win Game 6 3-1 over the Tampa Bay Rays. A sea of fans waiting for baseball since March 26th finally got their wish.
I think I've cried like 100 times since we bought the tickets.
It's a birthday gift.
It is a birthday gift.
We flew here all the way from East Los Angeles and came here to support the Dodgers, man.
As the Los Angeles Dodgers and Atlanta Braves arrived at Globe Life Field for the National League Championship Series in Arlington, so did their adoring fans.
It's really a privilege. We're just lucky that out of all the stadiums they chose here, and we're lucky enough to get to go.
I was first in line yesterday, so I could say I was the first fan of 2020 and the first fan ever at Globe Life.
And while Arlington may be the location for the two fan bases to collide,
since the Braves are my favorite team in the MLB, I chose this team because I just love the Braves and I like the jerseys.
To be living from Texas and get to see them here, it's really special. They're always in LA or somewhere in the National League. I never get to watch them.
The Texas Rangers playing as the hosts, also welcoming their own fans for the first time in the ballpark's history.
The stadium's sick. I went on a tour earlier, but it's see all the Dodgers, Braves fans, no, my stadium, not theirs.
Game 1 of the NLCS saw 10,700 fans walking through the doors to witness baseball history right here at Globe Life Field. Originally, it was expected that the Texas Rangers would be hosting the LA Angels on March the 31st, opening this ballpark. Instead, it's two completely different fan bases in Los Angeles and Atlanta out of the state that are opening up this ballpark with fans in attendance, and of course, just 1 week away from the World Series.
They've been playing in front of cardboard cutouts and everything, so I'm just glad, even not at full capacity, that we can come.
It's really cool to be here, take my kids here, let them experience what I experienced at the same age.
It's my first postseason game ever.
Not only is the National League Championship Series hosting fans, but so will the World Series. Reporting at Globe Life Field in Arlington, I'm Dusty Baker. In the famous words of Dodgers Hall of Fame broadcaster Vin Scully, in a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. And that's exactly where we're at right now, having the World Series at a neutral site in Arlington. And while there's stories on the field, of course, with the players, let's not forget about the fans as well. Let's take a walk around the stadium and find out where these fans come from and what brought them here to Arlington for the 2020 World Series.
It's actually kind of smooth. I mean, it didn't take as long to go through all the TSA and all the, all the checks and stuff, but we got here pretty fast.
We went on charter bus. We went straight to the airport, hopped right on the plane.
We flew out this morning and yeah, it was easy. It's our first flight since COVID and it's great. We're super excited.
With Arlington playing host to the first neutral site World Series in the modern era of Major League Baseball, many fans from Tampa Bay and Los Angeles found themselves hopping on flights and making their way to Globe Life Field.
If they were committed to coming and overcoming whatever obstacles that took to get here, they're here. Look around, it's a wash in blue.
Pretty easy getting out here. Dodgers did all the hard work. We got tickets, got flights pretty easy.
While others came just to see baseball played again at the highest level.
I don't really care a whole lot for the Dodgers, but I'm here to watch baseball. I'm here to watch good baseball.
It felt good to take out the Asterisks, so coming to Texas, having eliminated them, felt great.
All while taking necessary precautions to stay safe.
I've had friends that passed away from COVID, so for us we were a little cautious, but we're rocking my N95 mask and a surgical mask on top of it, so just try to take the precautions that we can.
And establishing an environment that feels like home.
I'm literally 20 minutes away from home watching them play in the World Series, so I'm like, life has a funny way of working out.
If we was home in Tampa, it would have been more Rays, but it's okay. We got Dodgers fans, but still go Rays. Go Rays, baby.
We travel well. It's amazing to see all these fans here. It's nothing but love. I don't even know that guy. I love that guy.
Reporting in Arlington at Globe Life Field, I'm Dusty Baker.